Hey, eighth grade, so our learning target today is I can find the point of intersection, or the POI, between two relationships by equation. So we've talked about table and graph. We're going to do more specifically equation work today, but we will still compare it to the table and to the graph. So here's our first example. Suppose you have $5,000 in your savings account. So $5,000 already in your savings. That's a beginning amount, the B. That's what you start with. So let's go in and go down and fill that information in right away. Your equation, you have $5,000 at the beginning in your savings account. Going back up then, you start spending at a savings rate of $150 per month. You start spending at $150. That means you're taking money out of your account. It's coming out of the $5,000. So if you're spending, your slope is $150 per month. Negative $150. You're taking it out of the $5,000 that's in the bank, a negative situation. So your equation then is y equals mx plus b. Recognizing that y is a stop sign, the slope m is negative 150, x is a stop sign, and we begin with $5,000. So we're taking money out of the account because it's a negative slope. So the line should be decreasing over the course of time. So that's your equation information. If we go back up to the problem, it says that your friend has $200. That's your friend's beginning amount, your B. So friend has $200 at the beginning. All right, guys, so then what about the slope? The friend is actually adding money to the savings account each month. So that's an increase of $150 per month to the savings. So friend adds $150 per month. So kind of an opposite situation. You're taking $150 out, friend is adding $150, but you start with different amounts. So the equation then would be y equals mx plus b. We had to have y equals 150 positive, x plus 200. So there's our two equations. There's your equation and your friend's equation. Notice that they're starting at different y-intercepts, and they have different slopes. They should intersect then. Okay, so that's just our information. Let's go ahead and look at our tables. Looking for the intersection of the table. So the things that we're comparing in this problem is months. How many months? And how many dollars? So we'll go ahead and do that for both you and your friend. The number of months that go by and how many dollars are in your account. You're losing money, friend is gaining money, according to the slopes. Okay, so now we're going to start the table at 0. So go ahead and fill those in. 0 all the way down to 10. I'll give you a chance to write those down. Month 0 down to month 10 for both you and your friend. We'll find the y values in just a second here. Everybody's filling out those x values, 0 through 10 for you, 0 through 10 for your friend. Keep on going. Okay. So let's talk about you first. At month 0, when you first open up your account, how much money do you have in your account? You should be saying $5,000 is your beginning amount at month 0. Each month, you're going to take out $150. So at month 1, you're going to lose $150, which means you have $4,850. At month 2, you lose another $150, so now you have $4,700. We're just subtracting off that slope of 150 each every time a month goes by. Bank's going to take that money out. At month 3, we lose another $150, so we have $4,550. You can go ahead and just use your calculator, subtracting 150 each time, your slope. Or if you can do it in your head, that's fabulous as well. Another 150 would be $4,400. At month 5, we're losing another 150, so we have $4,250. At month 6, we lose another 150, which is $4,100. At month 7, we lose another $150, which is $3,950. subtract another 150. You can do that in your head. That's fabulous. If not, grab your calculator. 3950 minus another 150 out of the bank. Is $3,800. Take $3,800 and subtract another 150 is $3,650. Take $3,650, subtract another 150 is $3,500. So that's as far as we're going to work this table on the left. We're going to do the same thing for your friend. Hopefully we find a point of intersection within these first 10 months. That's what we're looking for, is when will the two people, you and your friend, have the same amount of money at the same amount of time. Your friend starts with 200, but your friend's bank account is growing by 150. Slope is a positive 150. The line should be increasing. So add $150. 350, you can use your calculator if you want. 350 plus 150 is 500. Keep adding 150 each time. 500 plus 150 is 650. 650 plus 150 is 800. 800 plus 150 is 950. 950 plus 150 is 1,100. 1,100 plus 150 is 1,250. 1,250 plus 150 is 1,400. 1,400 plus 150 is 1,550. 1,550 plus 150 is 1,700. Bummer is I'm not seeing a POI where the two people, you and your friend, have the same amount of money at the same amount of time. So let's go ahead and graph it and see if we can see on the graph when that happens. So we're talking about a bank account. We would need to get a title up here. So go ahead and say bank account. All right. On our y-axis, it says very clearly what the label is going to be on your y-axis. It's going to be money. That's what our y-axis is going to be labeled. Here's our y-axis. And our x-axis is going to be months. We want to know when the two girls will have the same amount of money. These are our months. On the x-axis down here. Okay, so on our x-axis we range from 0 to 10, so that's not very hard for us to do. 0 through, and I'm going to be able to fit through 14, it looks like. 0 through 14. On our y-axis, my ranges go from 5,000 all the way down to 200, so I got to squeeze all of that in the graph. So I'm going to go ahead and possibly scale by 400s. So I can fit it, scaling by 400s. So let's go up 400, 800, and so on. 200s would be too small. I guess I could have gone by 500s. All right, so it's going to be a little bit of a guessing game here on graphing this particular problem. So you should be scaling up by 400s on the y-axis, go by 1s on the x-axis. We're looking for the point of intersection on the graph. Hopefully we find one. If not, we're going to have to go to that equation. So 0, 5,000. At month 0, you have $5,000 in your bank account. At month 1, you have $4,850. At month 2, you have $4,700. Should be linear. It should be a straight line. At month 3, it's a little bit of a guessing game, so sometimes it's kind of hard to be perfect with it. At month 4, we have $4,400. At month 5, we have $4,250. At month 6, we have $4,100. At month 7, we have $3,950. Again, my dots aren't perfect, but it should be very close to linear. At 8, we have $3,800. At month 9, we have $3,650. At month 10, we have $3,500. And I'm not seeing the intersection yet with my data points. So let's go ahead and graph the increasing graph. Okay, so let's take a look at your friend. Hopefully we get an intersection here. At month 0, we have $200. Of course, it's not within the first 10 months. We know that, but maybe hopefully out at month 11, 12, or 13, we'll see it. At month 1, $350, almost $400. At month 2 is $500, slightly bigger, a little bit of a guessing game there. At month 3, we have $650. At month 4, we have $800. At month 5 is $950. At month 6 is $1,100. At month 7 is $1,250. At month 8 is $1,400. At month 9, we have $1,550. At month 10, we have $1,700. So if I draw a straight line connecting these data points, or as close to it as I can, that wasn't great, sorry about that. And I draw a straight line connecting these data points, which is my line, because I'm decreasing and slope friend's increasing, it's going to meet somewhere, which it looks like possibly out at like month 15 or 16. Dilemma is, though, I can't see it in my current table I didn't go far enough on. I can't see it in my current graph. What do I do then? Well, that's our POI of an equation. That's our kind of our learning target today. So what we do is we set these two equations equal. We want to know when equation 1 is equal to equation 2. So the question is, when does equation 1 equal equation 2? Here we go. So equation 1's value is negative 150x plus 5,000. Notice I drop off the y value and I input the mx plus b. Equation 2's value is 150x plus 200. This is called a multi-step equation with a variable on both sides. Notice you have a variable x on both sides. That makes it tricky for kids to use the hand method because they think, well, where should I put my hand? Where you put your hand is the smallest variable goes first. Finding the smallest variable part. My choices are negative 150x and positive 150x. Negative 150x is the smallest. So the opposite of negative 150x is to add 150x, copy, paste. Solving, working left to right then. We have 0 here. If I haven't used it, I drag it down. On the right-hand side, we have 300x. If I haven't used it, drag it down. The hand method kicks in then at this point. Take my hand cover variable and anything attached. What I did first is I got rid of the smallest variable part. Smallest variable part was that negative 150x. Hand method kicks in, I subtract 200, copy, paste. Working left to right then, 5,000 minus 200 is 4,800. If I haven't used it, drag it down. Divide by 300, copy, paste. We end up finding out that x is equal to 16, which means had we worked our table out to month 16, we would have found the POI. Had we worked our graph out to month 16, we'd have found the POI, but we simply just ran out of space. When will you and your friend have the same amount of money? At month 16. You will have the same amount of money. How much will you have? Well, at this point, we're going to need to solve for y. So we're going to take this x of 16 here, and we need to substitute it in to this equation for you. So negative 150 for 16 months, you're taking 150 out, and you start with 5,000. So I'm going to take all of this and type in my calculator. What happens if I take $150 out for 16 months? And and I'm taking that away from 5,000. So when I go ahead and type that all in, I find out that I have $2,600 left in my account because I'm taking money away from my account. The opposite situation is happening with my friend. My friend is adding money into the account. So I'm going to take that 16 here and see what happens at month 16 for my friend. So 150 my friend's putting in for 16 months, and my friend starts with 200. Friend is increasing 150 every month for 16 months and starts with 200. Typing that in my calculator, 150 times 16 plus 200. I'm getting 150 times 16 is 2,400 plus 200 is 2,600. So what I learned is my friend also has 2,600 at that particular time. So my friend has 2,600. So at month 16, both my friend and I have $2,600. That's where the point where in the table they would have intersected. At month 16, $2,600. In the graph, we would have had with the two lines would have crossed there. In the equations, we would have had that as well. So it's saying down here, use the equations to find when you and your friend have the same amount of money. I did all of my work for that up here. So I did that. At month 16, you and your friend will have $2,600. So at 16, $2,600. At month 16, you and your friend will each have $2,600. That's the POI. We just couldn't see it in this particular case in the table or graph. Had we extended it, had we had more space, we could have seen it. But that's what you do when you can't see it in the graph. Okay, so your homework for tonight is to do page 18 and page 19. Make sure that you're writing good labels for your table, your graphs. Make sure you've scaled it appropriately, and maybe make sure you've set the two equations equal to each other. You drop off the y and set them equal to each other. All right, 8th grade, have a fabulous night.